Thank you. So I'm Danny Boyce. I'm the co-founder and CTO of Speek. We're from Washington, D.C. So raise your hand if you've been on a conference call. Regular conference call, dial in, phone number, PIN. Keep it up if you actually liked that experience. So that's what I thought. That's why we exist. So conference calls suck. Everyone hates them. It's a universal, crappy user experience. It's still the way the majority of business people talk, unfortunately. The old dial-in and PIN paradigm. And it's also a massive industry. So what Speek does is instead of giving you a dial-in, we give you a simple link. So it's personal, speek.com/Danny is essentially my conference bridge. I give that out to people. People can join my call from any platform. It's a single button-click experience. So it makes it so the user experience for the end user is better. It also makes for a highly viral product for us, and I'll show you that in a second. So we're about a year old, a little over a year old. We've had hundreds of thousands of users. We're growing very rapidly. We're most proud of our recent metric where we're actually converting free users to paid. We're a freemium model at the rate of 20%. We just started charging a few months ago. And we've raised $2.6 million in seed funding so far from people like 500 startups and other pretty high value VCs and angels. So our team is pretty awesome, we like to think. So John Bracken is my co-founder. He co-founded evite.com, which I'm sure everyone's probably heard of. It's in the dictionary as a noun and a verb. They were acquired in the early 2000s. He went on to join the AOL Instant Messenger team very early on and turn that into from a free product into a multi-million-dollar business doing biz dev. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I'm technical. I started as a software engineer, went to Harvard, did some advanced studies at MIT, exited my first startup in the early 2000s as well. The rest of our team pretty much comes from either AOL Instant Messenger from the early days, so our engineers built AIM back when it was in its prime, or a product called UserPlane, which is also an AOL product that is a white label, real-time voice, video, instant message platform that you've probably used and don't know about because it's white label and it's on it like every dating site, NFL.com, a bunch of the porn sites. But it's got hundreds of millions of users. So this team's averaged a decade of engineering experience building products like Speek, communications products. So since we're in Vegas, I figured I might as well roll the dice and do a live demo on stage with our most famous user. So here we go. So this is my speek.com/Danny page. I'm going to actually join through voice over IP, so hopefully the audio is hot.
Welcome to Speek.
Edward, you there?
Danny?
Hey. So everyone, I'd like to welcome Edward Norton. You've probably heard of him. He's a famous actor, producer, director, entrepreneur, and most importantly, active Speek user. So Edward, I would love if you would tell the audience here at Tech Cocktail Celebrate a little bit about why you like Speek and what kind of turned you on to it and how you've been involved.
Sure. As some of you know, I started a tech company of my own called CrowdRise, which is a crowdfunding platform for charities. And we work an enormous amount with nonprofit groups and companies, and we're on conference calls all the time. And we've all had a sort of a pain issue on that for a long time because I'm often out of the country. And one of my partners happened across Speek a number of months back, and we started using it. And I'd say within a month, we had started using Speek almost exclusively across not only CrowdRise as a company, but also my film company and another company that I'm involved with. And I think that the things that have really impressed me about it in a nutshell are, one, the user experience is just so seamless and natural. It's a very intuitive and natural experience that the ultimate test of which has been that, we just send our conference call links to hundreds of nonprofit groups and things like that we work with, and all of them have had a very easy time making the transition into doing that. And then I would say a high percentage of the groups that we worked with have asked us how they can start using it in the middle of the call. So we've found the transition in terms of getting other people that we're calling used to it very, very easy. The second thing is that for me, I'm out of the country a lot, so the capacity to do the calling as I'm doing right now on Chrome, voice over IP, has been a game changer for me because I'm not dealing with setting up conference calls with a different international link or making international calls from my phone. And so it's been, I was working in Canada all summer, and I made calls all over the world using Speek all summer.
Thanks, Edward. We just got the time hook, but I definitely appreciate your time.
No problem.
Thanks for coming on, and good luck hosting Saturday Night Live this weekend. So, on that note, if you want proof that was actually him, he's going to tweet a little love for Tech Cocktail Celebrate on his verified Twitter account. So go check @EdwardNorton.
Well,
in case you don't believe
props
me.
for doing the live demo, and then it was a good live demo.
And it worked.
And it worked.
You didn't have anything going on the screen though. It was kind of boring while he was talking.
Well, I thought Edward Norton would be exciting enough, so
I know,
I
but
don't
it
want
was
to.
like white space.
I don't want to roll the dice too much. I'm a gambler, not that much of a gambler.
So as a 500 company, I have to do my McClure. And what's your favorite Edward Norton movie? And if you don't say American History X, you're a fucking idiot.
American History X, then.
Thank you.
Actually,
I'm shameless. I need the votes.
yeah. What you're doing is really interesting, and my question is more of a sort of competitor marketing question. Everyone uses free conference call. It's, how are you guys pulling people away from free conference
Yep.
call?
I love you asked that. So the government made it easy on us. So do you know how they make money? It's this huge arbitrage scheme. So they basically traffic pump. So if you dial it into a freeconference.com number, it's always a weird area code.
Yeah.
So that's taxpayer-funded money going to rural telecoms. It's supposed to be going to broadband deployments. Then instead, they're hacking up the money with freeconference.com. So the FCC finally caught on to this, outlawed it last year, cut their revenue in half instantly. And now it's being basically phased down to zero. So freeconference.com is gone. If you notice, their marketing and how they've kind of approached everything has changed. They're barely marketing themselves because they have no more money. And all those free players do the same thing. So we've got users coming to us in droves because they're marketing some cheesy like white label WebEx ripoff thing, and all their premium features, which nobody wants. Like they don't understand internet marketing. They're an old telecom company.
What are the premium features? So if I upgrade, what do I get?
Sure. So for free, you get a Speak link, personal Speak link. For free, you can have a call up to 5 callers. When you go pro, it's just $10 a month. You get more than 5 callers. You get call recording. You get international, so you can actually call from like Russia for free, a Speak call. And then you can also do file sharing. So on a conference call, when like a lot of times you have to email around that attachment, and everyone stops and hits send and receive and like waits. So we have this really simple, just drag and drop, and you can pull in a file from any of the cloud.
Do you do anything like Join Me? Join Me is a very similar, really simple to use. I feel like all my CEOs are using it nowadays.
And they also outsource their voice platform because they couldn't figure out voice. So TurboBridge.
Like a partnership opportunity?
we've had discussions, so something will definitely happen there.
There isn't an actual phone number you get, right? Like it's just a URL. So how do you deal with folks that are running around
Yep, so we have apps.
Using LilyPad, needing to.
Yeah, so there's a couple things. So on smartphone, we have apps on every smartphone platform. So with the iPhone, it's button click, you're in. We actually dial you in. We also have mobile browser optimized. And then for feature phones, we actually have a really cool SMS feature. So you can send Danny to a phone number we give out, and we'll just call you back on your phone and put you on the bridge. So we support every platform available. And the on-the-go use case is what I think we're most conducive to.
I agree that conference calls suck. I also wish that all the people putting all this effort into killing free conference call and WebEx and all them, would do something else for the world, because it's crazy how much entrepreneurial effort is going into this one problem, and I don't see anyone standing out. But that aside, taking what you're doing, because I would appreciate a better solution, what do you do about the fact that that's just an open URL?
Yeah, so actually, it's a good point. So your conference bridge is an open conference bridge. Your participant code stays the same. There's horror stories of M&A deals gone bad because people just dial in because they remember the conference bridge code. So we actually have a visual interface, which you just saw. So I can actually see anyone who joins my call, and if I don't know who they are, I click a button and they're gone. So it is inherently more secure than a dial-in. Because all you hear in a dial-in is a beep when someone joins. Like, who knows who that person is unless you ask. So just as we're moving up the enterprise, we're getting more and more bigger companies buying Speek. And we're going to do a Teams offering soon. We're going to do a lock feature, so you can actually lock your bridge. So if you're not on it, or if you're on it and you know, okay, these 5 people are who should be on, lock it. I want to make sure no one else can join, just as an additional piece of security. The bigger the companies get, the more that question comes up. But I think there's a number of ways to solve it. The lock feature for us seems like the most logical through talking to our customers.
I like your kicks.
Thank you.
They're hot.
What about the shirt?
Like your shirt as well, right?
Thank you. Thanks a lot.